Now, before I get started, I want to give you some food for thought. Has any of you ever been concerned about how you should address a person who is transgender or considers himself gender neutral? Well, in a time where political correctness has been a major topic of discussion, controversy has arisen around one Toronto, Canada college professor for his open criticism of Canada's new proposed human rights legislation, Bill C-16. This bill not only prohibits discrimination based on gender identity and expression, but has made it a crime to do so. My name is Brian Mooney, and my selected reading is about Toronto professor Jordan Peterson taking on gender-neutral pronouns by Jessica Murphy. In this article, Jessica Murphy discusses Jordan Peterson's frustration with Bill C-16 and having to be forced to use made-up pronouns to address students and staff who identify as gender-neutral. Now, the purpose of this article is to inform, but it also raises a question. Is Peterson a victim or a villain? Jessica Murphy provides the tools for the reader to decide for themselves. She not only provides views from Peterson's perspective on the matter, but she also provides information that contradicts Jordan Peterson's perspective. Now, with that being said, I do agree with the premise of Jordan Peterson's argument. I try to keep a worldview of neutrality. But in this case, I do believe that tyranny does ensue when you try to control people's language and their ideas. With that being said, I'm not saying discriminate against people for their gender identity, but there's no need to change the criminal code of a country. I also believe that refusal to use these words should not be considered hate speech or result in a loss of employment or sanctions. Now, to identify some figurative language, Jordan Peterson uses a hyperbole. He states that silent slavery will generate when these laws get kicked in. Now, there's not much detail left after that, so it leaves the reader with very vague information, but I believe that he means that people will be shackled to laws. If legislation passes, it's very hard to get rid of in the future. A hyperbole is an exaggerated claim or a statement not meant to be taken seriously. Now, the worldview, again, is very neutral from the writer's perspective. She doesn't give any figurative language that would make me believe that she sides with Jordan Peterson or the other side. Now, my assumption of this is that it's a left-wing ideology, also could be considered Marxist, and it's potentially dangerous for the future. Now, some interesting points from the article. History does show that authoritarianism starts when people look to control linguistics and ideologies of their citizenry. An authoritarian government uses coercion to enforce a strict, obedient society at the expense of personal freedom. If you do your history, you look at people like Vladimir Lenin and Joseph Stalin. At the beginning of their reigns, they try to control people's thoughts and their words. Now, there's also some contradiction information against Jordan Peterson. There's some legal experts in Canada that believe that failure to use these pronouns will not result in any criminal charges or even hate speech litigation. There's also a point of view from an opposing professor at the University of Toronto that believes Jordan Peterson just needs to work his way through his lack of familiarity with transgender people. In conclusion, this article benefits readers by providing them with information on the political debates affecting today's societies and gives them the opportunity to judge the situation that is being written about. It also simply shows that there are always two sides to an argument. One side believes that this legislation is a no-brainer issue on the protection of human rights, while on the other side believes that this legislation is a pathway to potential tyranny. Again, my name is Brian Mooney. Thank you for listening.